Salutations everybody, it is Maddie here today with a vlog that's going to be quite different from the content I normally post on the channel. Usually what I do here is I'm jumping at the camera, I'm excited, and in these types of vlogs I'm hitting you with all the jump cuts in the world. But this time around it's a lot more serious. I want to dial it back and be straightforward about some things because I'm a transparent content creator. So when I'm feeling a certain way, I let you guys know, and it works the other way around where you guys let me know how you're feeling and it leads to a good relationship between us. And so a couple things I want to preface before I really dive into this. Number one is that different circumstances, different problems. So what you may hear as a problem for me may not be a big problem to you, but that's also because we have different life structures, different arrangements, different ways of getting to these problems, different ways of handling these problems, and so on. Same thing with what you're going to see in the comments down below. You might read a comment that doesn't seem like that big of a problem or a much more amplified version of my problem. Like I said, we all have different lives, different setups, so I just ask that we be respectful to one another. That's all I'm really asking for there. Also, number two is that to get to the point that I'm at here, which is ambition, there's a lot of storytelling beforehand. So I just ask that you hear all of that out beforehand, because a lot of it's emotional struggles, mental struggles, overcoming a lot of stuff to get to this point where I'm at, where this is a video I've been wanting to make for a long while, guys, a really long while, but I just couldn't find the words. I didn't know how to feel, and it just would kind of linger, pop in, out, and now I finally have an idea of exactly what I need to do for the future, and I want to share that with you guys because that's kind of like the final stamp for me is, you know, I talk to my family, I talk to my friends, I talk about it 1,000,001 times to really make sure I feel good with what I'm saying and that this is really what I want. And then, like I said, the final step is let me talk to the audience about it, because that's where I feel like, okay, it's out there, let's do this. So in order to get to that point, we need to go back. And I think the best starting point for this is fall 2016. That's when I graduated college and announced that I'm officially a full-time YouTuber. And it was a great day because, like many students, you work tirelessly in school. You finally get to that point of graduating and you're like, peace out, I'm out of here, I'm done. Leave me alone, no more studies, no more homework, I'm done. And I was feeling that way for a while now. Little did I know, school held something in me that I desperately need in most days of my life. And I think any human really needs, but for me in particular, it was a realization. And that's a challenge. So this isn't my first time doing YouTube full time. I did this in 2015 in fall because of Fallout 4, and I was trying to imagine balancing school and Fallout 4, and I was like, yeah, that's not happening. So of course, I picked YouTube and I made sure to maximize on all those new viewers coming in, tried to establish relationships with as many of you as possible, and really ground myself as a YouTuber, and I successfully did that. This year's goal was to really spread my wings and go outside of Bethesda, and when I look at my channel, I successfully did that. A lot of my videos that have higher views, higher interactions, more importantly, are the non-Bethesda videos, and that's mainly because they've been quiet, but it's good to know that I've successfully achieved another goal of mine, which was, okay, I love Bethesda, but let's go beyond that. But like I said, it all boils down to the challenge. One thing I did not realize at the time because I was stressed was that I like the balance art of, okay, I have school, I have homework, I got studies, I have other obligations outside of school and work, which is YouTube, where balancing YouTube became an act, where now YouTube being my sole occupation, it's all I do. It is all I do. I'm always talking about games, I'm always working with games, and like I said, this is where I go back to the beginning, like, yeah, my problems may not seem like a big problem, but I'm a huge believer in too much of anything in life, anything can be really bad and overwhelming. And for me, it's just kind of gotten to this point where I have such an efficient process of creating videos with specific recording dates, specific audio recording dates, specific editing days, days for the podcast. I have it all structured where I can do exactly what you guys have seen on the channel, which is, I think, really good games discussions, quick to the punch news videos, and also on top of all that, a video every single day of the week, which I've been doing since 2014, I want to say, early 2014, end of 2013. So I haven't missed a beat for a while now because I've had this nailed down process. But like I said, it boils down to the challenge. There isn't that challenge currently presented in YouTube, no matter how big of a scope of the project I want to make, the challenge isn't there. And no, I'm not alluding to the idea of quitting, I'm alluding to the idea that I need to do more. I need to have more going on, because with YouTube, often enough, especially with the way I work my schedule, and it's important sometimes I have my schedule like that, especially when we're reviewing games or when it's a hot news week, that I have those times, those periods of time that are free, those days sometimes that are free, because let's say, for example, when Fallout 4 was first teased, I was able to bang, right on top of it. When we heard news about different Star Wars news, bang, right on top of it. Review periods, when I needed to have days where I could spend time with just the game and get as much time into it as possible, boom, it was done because of the way my schedule was. But with that schedule comes those issues of idle time, doing really nothing. And I'm someone who loves their leisure time, like any other human, I'd say. But the key to leisure time is it is earned. You earn your leisure time. In order to fully enjoy your leisure time, you must earn it. When I am not having a challenge presented in my work, and then I go to video games afterwards, for example, I don't fully enjoy my leisure time. I feel like I'm almost wasting away. That's where I get to the emotional struggle part, the mental struggle part. I felt worthless. I feel worthless. I feel like I'm not doing enough. And I know during school I was very stressed. Now I realize that is what, if for those who study psychology, is called a eustress, a positive type of stress, a stress that you need to really function, because it's like accomplishment. It's like, yeah, I got my homework done, I finished that big project, I studied for my test, I'm gonna go play Spider-Man PS4 now because I've earned this. With me, it's like, okay, I'm loving talking about games, I'm loving doing all this, but it's not personally fulfilling me. And the only way it has fulfilled me is I've realized on the days I go out, I do something, I work somewhere, I help something out, and I come back and then do YouTube, because I feel like I've really notched off a bunch of things in my day. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's my own ambition that's putting me in this situation where I want to do more. It's just about finding that balance of what's too much, what's too little. It's not like I'm doing a little. I don't want to have anyone think I sit here and do absolutely nothing, because a lot of YouTubers can all vouch for one another that we bust our ass doing what we're doing here. It's just, this is another part of my past that I don't think a lot of viewers know about me, but I've had a good couple of YouTube channels. I've done YouTube for over a decade now. It has been that long, despite my age. I have been doing YouTube for that long consistently. And so with that has come familiarity, which I know a lot of people do careers for 20, 30, 40 years, and that's more than my age, that's double my age. And it's like, for me, you know, I just am ready for a new challenge to enter my life. And I've decided on a couple of things. I'm still feeling them out, whether it's going back to school. I've been inspired to write a book, actually, based off another book I was reading. On top of that, I also want to volunteer places, explore different interests. I love animals. I love them so much. I'd love to work with animals. It's like, even if it's volunteering. What I'm saying is I'm looking for new challenges to overcome, new things to do that make YouTube feel as fulfilling as it once did for me. And when it felt most fulfilling is when I was really busy, I was balancing a lot going on in my life, and YouTube almost felt like not only work, but an escape. It felt like an exciting thing to come to, where for me, and I don't say this in a privileged fashion, I don't say this in a way like I don't take it, or like I do take it for granted, because I don't, but it's become so familiar, so run-of-the-mill, so customary, that I am going to continue uploading every single day like I normally do. But those days off, I am now working at this point in time to fill them up with stuff that fulfills me, that makes me emotionally feel good. Because like I said, I've had some really rough days of feeling worthless, and that's not good for anybody. When I was listening back on this, I realized I never fully clarified something. No, I'm not quitting YouTube. No, I'm not done with YouTube, and your schedule will not change. You'll still see videos every single day of the week. It's more so there's a lot of change going on my end of the game, and I wanted to make you all aware of that. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm sitting at this point in time, and I'm just looking forward to the future, because I know what I need to do now. I know what needs need to be addressed, because that's a lot of what life is, having a need, addressing it. And for me, it's been a lot of thinking, a lot of self-analysis, and I finally have a game plan in mind on what I need to achieve that happiness I'm looking for. So if you guys struggle with a similar problem, feel free to sound off in the comments. Like I said, this is a loving environment. We try to support each other here, I think, and we do a good job of that. So feel free to share any of your stories down below. I highly encourage it. And I thank you guys for hearing mine. It really, you know, if you're at this point in the video, it means the world to me. And it makes the biggest difference, because those are the viewers that I know care, that I make videos for, and that fulfill me when I sit down to do this. It's just, I'm searching for that fulfillment in other areas as well, to really love what I do here, because that's how YouTubers do their best work, when they are fully energized. Once again, different circumstances, different problems. This has become work for me. I have worked plenty of different jobs. I've done landscaping, I've worked in stores, I've done shit before, man. I'm ready for new challenges at the same time as balancing this out, because I've realized that's what fulfilled me and made me feel emotionally okay with myself. So yes, I'm now done, and I'd like to thank you guys once again for the kindness and the support that you extend to me almost naturally. Like I said, on Christmas Day, for example, signing in before my video about Christmas even went live and having people just say Merry Christmas to me, saying kind things to me, those warm my heart more than anything, because it's like, wow, like I'm just sitting here doing my thing and I just popped in that person's mind and they had the courtesy to reach out to me. So to those who are like that, thank you so much. To those of you guys out there who are just really positive and supportive and understanding, thank you so much, because it makes videos like these a lot easier to make. It really does. I think that's enough serious stuff for me. Let's get back to the usual on the channel. And I'm really looking forward to the future. It's gonna be a lot of hurdles to climb, but we have a game plan, and that's the first big step to anything in life, is having a plan, I think. So that'll do it for me, folks. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.